The Audio Plus, your musical store. The Hit Spot. Uniform Depot. Quick Kicks, love yourself. Signature Dream Weddings, changing the outlook of weddings forever. Nitro Film Records, breaking sound barriers faster than the eyes can see.
There's a lot of people who have a lot of different opinions, and a lot of these people never went to your church. No woman prime minister.
I won't support it. I won't support it. I won't support it.
I saw 2 Punch articles about you. All right, you read those articles?
I would say so.
There's email that's going around. There's more rumors about you. What do you think about? You read those emails that went around?
Yes.
What do you think about it?
Trendsetters, name brand fashion, and obsessions indulge in your pleasures.
Epic Battery, ever producing instant current. Price busters, savings and a smile in every aisle.
Ideal Auto, tinting and accessories.
Did you ever, like, say, backslid at some point from when you were preaching, doing those tours and stuff?
It depends on what you determine backslid.
Like, just stop preaching?
No, never. I got weak. I fell down, but I got up, brushed off, shake off, and took off.
Okay, so after the age of 18, did you go full time into preaching and ministry?
No, I didn't go full time into ministry after 18. Of course, I got married at 18, going on 19 or 17, going on 18, whichever age it was. And so I went into full time ministry at the age of about 22, 23. I went into full time ministry. I was already married. My last child was born when I was 24, and so we took off.
Wow. How many children do you have?
I have 3 biological children and 24 adopted.
I just raised 24 children, man. That's 27.
Yeah, well, it is amazing how, I'll tell you my thing, or my philosophy, if that's a word. We were so poor. And Dorothy Knowles in Yellow Elder gave me a chance in life. She have only had 2 biological children, 2 girls. She went one time to preach to a church in Grand Bahama that I wouldn't say. And they said to her, "We know you for years, but we can't let you preach because you had a child since you were married that is not your husband, and since you were saved, so we can't let you preach." And they were talking to me. So she said, "To hell with you, I don't owe you no explanation." Before she straightened them out that I was not her adopted child, she refused that invitation to preach in that church. That's right.
Wow.
And so my thing has been, she never made any segregation with me and her 2 girls. We grew up as brothers and sisters until this very, very day. Most people do not know her as not being my biological mother.
Wow.
And so my thing was, someone helped me. Someone gave me a chance. And once I would have made it, I would have given to anybody that needed my help and support that chance. That's exactly what I did. I know we took a family of 9 from a mother that was living in a condition that we thought was unbearable. And we rear those 9 children to manhood and what they are now. We were supporting, at one time, 4 children in college. 1 in Florida Memorial, 1 in West Palm Beach. No, we had 2 in West Palm Beach. And we had 1 in, the college up in Orlando.
Okay.
All of those tuition was more than $21,000 a year. And we supported them until all of them were graduated out of school.
Wow.
With the parent not being a member of our church, because sometimes the parent left, and when the parent left, I said, we have made an obligation, not through the church, through myself, my wife, and my family, And so I've said, we have made this obligation that we would live up to regardless to what.
Wow.
And that is the point.
So you went into full-time ministry around 22, 24. When did you decide to go into your own church?
Well, I really didn't decide it per se. I was 9. And the church I grew up in were very, very strong. The teaching was strong on fasting and praying. I was a Roman Catholic, so I did not accept the teaching of my church right away. I was a devout Catholic. I wasn't a half-stepping Catholic. I believed in the Catholic Church very, very, very strongly until this very day.
To this day?
To this day. If I ever not be in Voice of Deliverance, I would return to the Catholic Church.
Wow.
But let me explain. And so I was in prayer. And I went in a vision and I had a letter. This man appeared to me, tall. You know, I looked up and I couldn't see his head. And he handed me this letter. I opened the letter. And until this very day, the only thing I remember was, I called you to do the work of an apostle. And he gave me the name of the church, Voice of Deliverance Disciples Center. I remember nothing else in that letter. I was 9. I was a child. The second letter second vision I went in, I had a dream again, still being a child. This time I was about 11 or 12. I had the same vision and the same letter. The only time I remember this time, it said to me, you will go to staff Bethlehem Baptist Church, 1100 Southwest 24th Avenue, Hollywood, Florida. He said, they will ask you to preach, and this is what your sermon will be. I remember that in the letter, and then I remember again, Voice of Deliverance Disciples Center. Some years later, when I was about around 19, I had the same vision with the name. I asked the Lord in the vision, what is the meanings of this name? He said to me, the voice mean I liken you to John the Baptist, a voice crying in the wilderness. Deliverance mean I have called you to bring deliverance to my people. Disciple mean makes disciple. Center is a place where they will gather for worship. That was it. That it was settled with me. I was already pastoring Deliverance Revival Center in Eleuthera because I've started pastoring from I was short, over 15, going on 16.
What?
And
Wow.
And you can pastor and you can't vote.
Well, I was pastoring at that age, and so, you know, I went to Springfield. I was in Springfield, Missouri. Life at that point had made a turn. It was beautiful. You know, this was going to be permanent home for me. I couldn't imagine in a million years. I think even now I'm wondering whether I miss God when we came back here. I was settled. I was living in a 21-room house. We had but 7 cars. Life was what it should be. Wow. And I heard steps, like I'm talking to you. I heard footsteps coming up the stairs of the house. I touched the intercom because the people were downstairs preparing meal. And so I said, why is someone from downstairs coming upstairs? The lady was Miss Wilcox. And so she said to me, she said, no one is coming upstairs. I said, I hear footsteps. Suddenly the bedroom door flew open. I saw the image, the smoke image of a man stood in the door and called my name. It said Leon Wallace. I remember a very old lady died at 104 that I used to go to in Eleuthera. We used to call her Aunt Ninny, but she was a Sands. And she said to me, when you hear the voice, say, speak, Lord, thy servant hear it. And so I said, Lord, and the voice said, hear. And I heard things saying, ow, like dog making noise. I said, what am I hearing? He said, that's my people crying for help. Go back to the Bahamas and shelter my people. I said to him, Lord, I do not want to go back to the Bahamas. I've had a bitter experience in the Bahamas, and I didn't want to go back to the Bahamas. The voice said, go back to the Bahamas and take nothing for your journey.